games.
Mike Nugent will kick off. Gathers and Johnson wait for it. The kick again. Turn. Hard to get a run back against Nugent when there's no wind. So what do you think, Dan? The philosophy here for Miami? Poke around with a run or just load it up and fire the cannon?
Well, they're going to have to win first down, basically, Keith. Larry Coker said that just 4 yards. Don't worry about the big game. We get 4 yards, be patient defense. But so far in 13 down plays in that first half, Miami has netted just 12 yards. That's incredible.
So here we go with the second half. And Ohio State leading 14-7. It's McGahee with the first play. And right side will get about 3 yards before Will Smith, who has stood tall tonight, makes the tackle.
It's only a 3-yard gain, but that's more like it for McGahee and this offense. You can see he running a lot harder that time. Keith, you talked about how he can put 1 foot in the ground and either cut back quickly or accelerate. There's no hesitation in his game, except in the first half. The Buckeyes caused him to hesitate.
Second down and 7. Dorsey turns quickly, throws, passes, caught. First tackle missed, second tackle made. It's Roscoe Parrish, who makes you take a deep breath every time he gets the ball in his hand. He is only 5'9", 165 pounds, but he is as quick as a shot.
Well, if you see where Dorsey's throwing the ball today, this right here tells me that Ohio State is having success with their deep zone. 2 interceptions down the middle of the field. Both came after Roscoe Parrish got loose for the touchdown.
Johnson, Parrish, the wideouts, 3rd down and 3. Dorsey getting pressure, gets it away, dumped it to McGahee out of the backfield. Hammered, and it looks like he's a little bit short of the 30-yard line, and he took a lick from Justin Fox.
Good pressure that time by C. Grant, who came on a blitz from his weak linebacker position. And excellent tackling on the outside. Watch Grant come free. That forces Dorsey to get rid of it in a hurry. But now McGahee, instead of lowering his shoulder, decides to spin back to the inside. He lost track of where he was on the field and what he needed for the first down.
He came up a yard short, and so they punted away with Freddie Capshaw kicking it to Chris Gamble, who lets it roll around on the ground. And it'll roll dead at about the 27-yard line. Ivan Douglas is in there at the tackle spot now, left side for the Buckeyes as they have their first possession of the second half. Craig Krenzel gives it to Maurice Claret. He spins out of 1 tackle and will get a couple of yards, moving from the 27-yard line to the 30. And finally, it is Sean Taylor that takes him down.
Yeah, in the first half, it was Craig Krenzel doing it with his legs. 11 yards on this quarterback draw, and they ran quite a few quarterback draws. In fact, 45 yards on 8 carries makes Krenzel the leading rusher in this ball game. When you're talking about McGahee and Claret, the quarterback finishes this off with a touchdown. That one tied the score at 7-all.
Make it a 3-yard pickup for Claret, close to 4, as the ball is finally put down just short of the 32-yard line. Got it again, going to the outside, broke the tackle, gets the first down, gets up across the 40-yard line, and he stepped on the chalk at the 42. He ran out of the tackle of Maurice Sykes.
And this is all Maurice Claret deciding he didn't like it this way. Then he came all the way across the backside of the formation. Here is Sykes right here. Watch the power with that straight arm. Just pushes Sykes to the ground. Best run of the night for Maurice Claret right there.
Gives him a first down at the 42. Movement on the left side of the line, Ohio State. Looked like Adrian Clark might have lost his concentration for a moment.
He certainly lost his balance, but he's balancing a lot, isn't he?
Ball start on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard gain. First down.
You get that 355 pounds moving, it's hard to stop it.
It's a lot of weight on one hand, too. Down in his stance.
The loss of 5 takes it back to the 37-yard line, where it'll be first down and 15. We are in the third quarter of play. Ohio State leading 14-7 over Miami. Krenzel gives it to Claret. And Vilma is right there. Jonathan Vilma, who had slipped to the outside and slanted back in, and he got him.
And to give you an idea, Keith, of just how well these defenses are playing, check out what Willis McGahee and Maurice Claret have done coming into tonight's championship game. 27 touchdowns, 14 for Claret, both well over 1,000 yards. Tonight, totally different story.
A loss of another yard.
His numbers are unbelievable. Claret averages 6 yards a carry normally.
Gamble is in the ball game with a wideout now. And they go to the shotgun for Krenzel. Give him a little time. Pressure coming from the backside. Gets it off, and it's almost intercepted. Oh, my goodness. He had it on his fingertips, and then it was gone.
Now, Matt Walters really forced Krenzel to throw that ball too hard to Maurice Claret. Good pressure by Walters, and that made it a very difficult one-handed attempt by Maurice Claret.
Matt Walters, for a big man, he's in there at 262. Very quick.
You have to be quick to play football at any position for the Hurricanes.
Seems so. Third down and 15. Krenzel deep down the sidelines. Gamble. It's down inside the 10 and fumbled, but he is down. He's down at the 6-yard line. Alfonso Marshall caught him from behind.
He had to catch him from behind because he's beat so badly. Total speed by Gamble as he outraces Marshall down the sidelines. Hits the ground, the ball comes out. Good call by the officials, and a huge play for the Ohio State Buckeyes as they continue to dominate this game. Close to being a fumble, but the knee is down there, and the ball comes out.
57 yards. That is the longest Ohio State offensive pass play of the year. Krenzel keeps it, throws it to the end zone, and it is picked off. Picked off by Sean Taylor. He threw it right to him. He had double coverage on his intended receiver and no chance to get it there, and Claret
took it away from him. Yes, he did, Keith. Maurice Claret with the play of the game, perhaps, as Sean Taylor going down the sidelines, reminiscent of George Teague of Alabama stealing the ball from Miami a few years back.
Ball's in the wrong hand. It should have been in the other side, shouldn't it?
That's a great point, Keith. But did he really pull it away? The officials say yes, he did.
Close.
Krenzel trying to force this one. Great read by Taylor as he comes back to take the ball away from Hartsock, and then with the ball in his right hand exposes it to Maurice Claret right there. And in the judgment of the officials, when they hit the ground, Claret had more possession than Taylor.
And so the Buckeyes are still sitting in the catbird seat down at the 28-yard line on the Miami side.
Perhaps the Miami Hurricanes have got their pocket picked twice.
Lydell Ross is the single back now as Krenzel drops and throws and delivers it out here, and he took his eye off the ball and dropped it. It's an incomplete forward pass. Now here's Todd Harris.
Well, Keith and Dan, 13s are lucky this year for the Buckeyes. They are not suffering from tridiscodophobia, the fear of 13s. They were 13-0. Coach Tressel's now 13-3. The Buckeyes were ranked 13th in the preseason AP polls. They've got 13 seniors that are leading the team. They just tabbed their 13th president. Unfortunately, and this doesn't even apply anymore, they were 13-point underdogs, and they put 13 teams on the All-Big East team, Miami did. And if you add up Ken Dorsey and Willis McGahee's number, you get 13. That's a bit of a stretch, but right now the Buckeyes will take it.
Right now they're looking at 3rd down and 12. not much there for that one, as Krenzel rolling around trying to get loose and run to the left side where he saw a lot of green grass, but he couldn't get to it.
But
and
that
so
drop play, Keith, excuse me, does put Nugent in a better position, better angle for this field goal. So a conservative call, but a smart call, getting the ball inside the hash marks.
It's a good sized kick, though. It's going to be 44 yards. Broom holds. Nugent's got a big leg. He's kicked every one of the kickoffs into the end zone. Puts the foot under it, plenty of leg on it, and it's good. And the Buckeye lead goes to 17-7. So one corner of the stadium gets very quiet here as the red roars and the Buckeyes lead by 10.
Ohio State versus Miami.
Miami with the ball now, down by 10 points here with 8:22 to go in the third quarter of play. They possess the ball, first down at the 39-yard line. Dorsey comes up throwing, and the pass is caught by Kellen Winslow. Pickup of about 6 yards on the play. C. Grant, the tackle. So C. Grant, who's been banged up a couple of times, but keeps coming back, and he's still the shadow of Kellen Winslow.
And that's what Miami has to do, get back to their original game plan, which features the tight end, Kellen Winslow, on short pass routes and have him break tackles for the bigger gains. But they need positive plays right now to get back into a good frame of mind.
Handed off to McGay, and he's got a yard or two. C. Grant on that tackle. Dave Parry, who is as good a source of authority and opinion about rules. David, you had a best look we could give you on that fumble, the takeaway, if you will.
Keith, from my view, it looks like the ball was coming loose. The Ohio State kid did, in fact, grip it, pull it out. We had a little tug of war afterwards, but it appears like a good call from the covering official.
Hey. Resulted in 3 points, and it's a 17-7.
Pretty heads-up play for a freshman, 19 years old, to make that.
So, yes. Dorsey wants to go deep, goes down the sidelines. The pass is incomplete, intended for Andre Johnson. He was a little short. He had him.
Yeah, it was another one of those double moves, fake to the post and then back to the corner. As you watch Johnson, great speed. There's the post route, and now back to the outside. Ball is underthrown, and Johnson loses his footing on this good field.
And Capshaw is in to punt. At the 10, the ball squirted loose for a moment. What do we have?
I think they have a halo violation, but I'm not sure this is a good call. It appeared that the Hurricanes gave Gamble plenty of room to make that catch.
Montre Roll was the man closest to him, who's a cornerback.
37-yard punt.
Remember, it's a 2-yard halo, and they must have thought that Roll was within that.
Violation, 10 yards penalty, first down. Media time.
Well, that's what's called as a halo violation. It's a penalty that moves the ball, and it moves it in favor of Ohio State. Carrying the ball, it's Claret. And from the 21-yard line, he's up to about the 23. 20, where do you see in the swing of things here in this ball game?
Well, basically, I see an Ohio State offense is doing the same things they've been doing all year. A very conservative approach to the game. And I think you give most of the credit for their success to the offensive line, protecting the football. Then it goes back to Craig Krenzel. When nothing is there, he's not taking any chances. He does not want to create the turnover. He wants to keep that plus turnover margin in this ball game by not doing anything silly. Fortunately for him, he's a tough kid.
He's in the shotgun, second down and 9. Now takes off with the ball and breaks the tackle. The second one takes him down at the 25. That would be Jamal Green. Jamal Green right now is matched up against a freshman, Rob Sims, at that tackle position for Ohio State.
And you know, Keith, you saw, well, Swanee was telling us about how Ohio State's getting back to what they want to do. Part of what they want to do, as we saw with the play clock in there, is milk that clock all the way down. Now, that was pretty close for comfort that time, but you'll see that they're trying to extend the game, shorten the game by running the play clock down and not snapping it until they are within 5 seconds almost every time.
Krenzel is the game's leading rusher. He has 10 carries for 51 yards and a touchdown, and he's back looking for a receiver. Lets it go to the sidelines, has him. Throws it right on his hands. No problem with it. He's out of bounds. Michael Jenkins had that foot on the line, on the chalk, and he does not get a catch.
Yeah, bad awareness of the sideline by Jenkins. He didn't have to jump for this ball. This ball is thrown right about shoulder height. And at 6'5", Jenkins knows, why did I jump up in the air? If I just drag my feet, it's going to be a first down. That right foot is out of bounds. But why did he jump?
Andy Groom is in to punt then. 56, 44, and 63 tonight. Got a little pressure there and didn't get all of it. And hooks it out of bounds. So that's his poorest punt of the night. That's also the first time there's been a green shirt in his face. That's 30 yards. And the clock stops at 5:05 to go in the third quarter, and Ohio State sitting on a 10-point lead. So second down and 9 after that penalty. Down the middle.
Every week, relive the drama on the Big Ten's greatest games. It's all here. The legendary stars, the incredible slams, the amazing performances, and the unforgettable finishes. Catch all the great action, the Big Ten's greatest games, only on the Big Ten Network.
Offense, break down! Defense, break down! Everybody, break down! Give me 3!
Juice has the first down. A whole lot more. 40. Juice racing in the end zone.
I feel bad that we didn't get it done. I'm not going to go back on what I said before. This is a good football team. People are going to say the program slipped back, and it slipped back. I promise you, this program's still going full steam ahead.
Don't miss the Illinois Football The Journey Marathon, only on the Big Ten Network.
So you think you have what it takes? Do you?
You got to understand, it's a long season. There are no easy games.
You are in great shape. Look at you. Kick back in your recliner with the chips, the dips, the cheese doodles, those tiny hot dog things. And don't forget the wings.
You have to stay hungry.
Because you're not just a fan.
You're a Big Ten fan.
You are a force.
Refuse to be distracted.
No bathroom breaks.
No phone calls. No household chores.
No walking the dog. We need single-minded focus.
We need a screen.
A really wide screen.
An HD screen.
Your head is always in the game, even when it's resting on a pillow.
You gotta give me all you got.
This is where all the sweat pays off.
So sit back, get ready, and leave it all on the couch.
But never, ever, ever leave the couch. Ever.
Because this is our house.
Well, technically it's your house.
But you get the idea.
Bring it in.
You're watching the Big Ten's greatest games.
Running with McGahee. Took a lick right upside the head as he crossed midfield and goes down at the 49-yard line. Donnie Nicky hit him.
And that will help settle down Ken Dorsey. Good run on first down, winning the battle on first down with a run to McGahee. Dorsey started 8 out of 10. Since then, 6 out of 11 with a couple of interceptions and a fumble.
You can pick up 6-7 yards on first down. You're headed toward a win. Second down and 4 here. Buckeyes defense jumping around. Dorsey throws it outside and misses the intended receiver, and there's a penalty flag thrown to the linesman across the way. Ethnic Sands was the man breaking for the ball, but it was well off the mark.
That blitz by Ohio State really threw the timing off of not only that pass play, but before the ball was even snapped.
It's against Miami.
Illegal shift on the offense. It's a 5-yard penalty. Replay second down.
So a well-timed blitz by Mark D'Antonio, defensive coordinator for the Buckeyes. Watch Doss come up. That forces Dorsey to change the play. Now Quatrine Hill is not set, nor is McGahee. The ball is snapped. Illegal.
For second down and 9 after that penalty. Down the middle. Caught. Winslow. Just a bullet down the middle of the field, and Kellen Winslow had broken free and makes the catch in front of Fox.
Boy, yeah, then you see the attitude of Winslow after the catch, trying to fire his teammates up. Got a lot of that from his daddy, Kellen Sr. Watch 81. Right down the middle of the field. Again, the zone is there. Great adjustment by Winslow to make that catch.
And Dan, you also have to love the fact that Winslow got up and got his body in front of a ball. You know, a lot of receivers always want to catch it with their hands. But you and I know, when you throw it into a crowd like that, if you get the body between the ball, you protect it and make the catch.
And then you add the attitude. Good package.
Run it, McGahee to the outside. They put him on the chalk at the 21-yard line. They give him all the way down to the 21, and that's close to a first down.
Well, Kellen Winslow Jr. learned a lot from his daddy through his genes. Kellen Winslow Sr., Hall of Famer, caught 541 catches for the Chargers. And we're going to see 3 of them here that he could catch with 2 hands. Most of the time, he was catching them all with 1 hand.
Yeah, I was going to say, what do you do, go through the reel and pick all of the on-the-target throws?
Absolutely. And he's down on the field. What an all-time great one. You talk about a security blanket over the middle and somebody that could use their big body not only over the middle but split out wide. And his son has the same traits.
Stretch it out. Looks, it's close. It is the first down.
Well, and you know what he did at the end of that run, Keith? He knew what he needed, as opposed to earlier in the game when he came up short of the first down. That time, he got it by an inch.
Kellen Sr. couldn't stand sitting quietly in the stands anymore. He's going down on the field.
Better keep a jersey away from him.
Yeah. 21-yard line, first down for Miami on the Buckeye end of the field. Ohio State leading 17-7, and we've got 3.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. McGahee is deep. Dorsey throwing over the head at the intended receiver, way over his head. Johnson was over there, well covered by Gamble. The Bills going back to coaching. Huh? I guess at those prices it ain't bad, huh?
Yeah, I'll give it a shot, too.
Quickly in the middle. Caught again by Winslow, and he's close to the 15-yard line with it. Matt Wilhelm, the big guy at 6'5", 245, got a hold of him.
Showing the hands that his daddy displayed many times over the middle. Look at him reach out. This is a tight end. Now he's more like a wide receiver, but he is quite a weapon.
Only a sophomore.
Miami has had some great tight ends, and this man's son definitely stepping up into that.
Well, that fellow Shockley that played there for a little while was pretty good.
And Bubba Franks, too. But again, Miami has to use a timeout.
And it comes at 2:44 to go in the third quarter. 3rd and 5. Right in front of the goalpost on the 16-yard line. Johnson and Parrish. Consider Winslow a very big possibility here. They throw it underneath. It goes to Winslow, and he's going to have the first down as he gets past the 10-yard line and gets stopped at the 9 by C. Grant.
We've seen his attitude. We've seen his hands. This was just pure speed as Winslow ran away from C. Grant. Came off the line of scrimmage, and it has Grant in his hip pocket. Good throw by Dorsey.
1st and goal at the 9 now for Miami. McGahee to the outside. Looking to see if he hit the chalk, and he didn't. So he just simply outran him into the corner. So close to getting to the sidelines and going out of bounds, but carrying that 220 pounds with almost the speed of light, it seems, the time he gets in there.
Well, he hits off the left side, doesn't like it there, and there is your speed of light all the way to the end zone, and it's not even close for Ohio State stopping him.
And the kick is good by Todd Severs, and it is now a 3-point lead for the Ohio State Buckeyes as Miami comes back to score the touchdown.
Ohio State versus Miami.
Claret lines up at the deep back. Krenzel sets him up and gives it to Claret. At the right side, he's got a yard, and that's all. Vilma was the first man to make contact. McDougal put him away. Well, they don't even give him a yard. They put the tail end of the ball almost touching the 20-yard line. The linebackers, Vilma, Harris.
Got to wonder about this Buckeye defense, just how tired they are.
Gamble is in on offense on this play. We got 4 wideouts for the Buckeyes.
Here's Claret all the way down at the bottom of the screen.
Shotgun for Krenzel, pulls it down, takes off. Seemingly had more room on the left side, chose to go right, and he's cut down rather quickly. And they're looking at 3rd and 6.
And what they're doing is they're forcing Miami to unload the box. You always hear about loading up the box with 8 and 9 men. But when you spread out the defense with your offensive personnel, putting Claret out wide, that forced Miami to adjust and only had 6 men in the box. That's why the draw play was called.
3rd and 6. The outcome of this ball game might be in the making right about here. A lot of things can go with a moment like this, and Ohio State, perhaps realizing it, has called a timeout. So they have 2 remaining, and the time remaining in the 3rd quarter is only 40 seconds. That's Gamble in motion. Pressure coming. Krenzel breaks the way. Pressure's coming, chasing him down, and he's going to keep the ball and be taken down by Andrew Williams, and that will bring up the punt. At about the 24-yard line, and here's Miami going to work. Quick shot to Roscoe Parrish. Swanee, what do you see working here now in the Miami offense?
Well, I think what they're doing is just getting back to their basic game plan. Ohio State's dropping people back. They're trying to put some pressure on Dorsey. Now all the receivers are doing is getting their bodies in front of the coverage and taking what the defense is giving them, the short pass. First, make the catch. Don't worry about trying to break a tackle and make a big run. Then if you turn upfield and you've got some space, take advantage of it.
2nd down and 2. They run for it, and they get it with McGahee. And they had to coattail him because he was close to getting out of the pack. He takes the ball across the 40 to the 41.
And Keith, if he breaks out of the pack, nobody on this Ohio State defense is going to catch him. He displayed his speed the last time when he reversed his field and took it in untouched. Look at the moves here. Now the power. Explosion, you hear that term all the time. It's speed, it's quickness, but most important, it's intensity.
Let's see if they go back to him. Yep. And he's got daylight. And he's going to get it up to about the 40, close to the 45.
Well, how do you win 38 games and only lose 1? Well, you perform well in the 4th quarter. Remarkable stat right there. No interceptions for Dorsey. He's been bounced around a few times tonight. He fumbled once. He threw 2 interceptions in the first half. But now we are in Dorsey time.
Second down and 6. Quick shot again coming this way to Ethnic Sands, and that's another first down. Dinkin and Duncan.
Pretty good company for Ken Dorsey. All-time consecutive wins by a starting quarterback. And this one obviously his last chance to tie the record of Chuck Ely.
And said the other day that he wanted to try to play on Sunday.
I think he can. He's a winner.
Ball is on the 46-yard line of Ohio State now. First down for the Hurricanes. And Dorsey puts it in the air. It's slapped down. Knocked down by Darian Scott.
That's the best play in a long time for the Buckeye defense. Darian Scott, recognizing the short three-step drop of the quarterback, got his hands up in the air and snuffed that ball out. What an athletic move by Darian Scott. Top of the screen, working on Vernon Carey. Carey does a great job keeping him away from the quarterback, but couldn't prevent the athletic move to knock it down.
Second down and 10. Jason Gettles, the man on this side. And now Dorsey's changed the play of the Ohio State crowd, and they're dominant, making a lot of noise. And McGahee can't get his engine running, and he goes down about the line of scrimmage as Will Smith makes another defensive play for Ohio State.
Will Smith is a really talented young man. We've seen him pick up a couple of sacks. He also will drop back into pass coverage. And his main asset is his speed, as he displayed that time.
A junior out of Utica, New York, 6'4", 250. Third and 10. Shotgun. Dorsey a lot of time. Pass thrown in the middle. Pass is caught by Winslow. He's past the marker. First down, Miami.
And what a shot Winslow took. But the play starts with Willis McGahee right here, picking up the blitzer. C. Grant, number 6. Great job there. Watch the toughness here as Will Allen bounces Winslow to the ground.
Ball is at the 35-yard line. Winslow has caught 7 balls now in the game for 87 yards. Dorsey again, a lot of time to the corner, incomplete. Running under it, short of it, Roscoe Parrish, Dustin Fox covering.
But the pressure of Ohio State is forcing Dorsey to throw the deep ball too long. His timing is off on the deep ball. He's throwing it too flat. He's not putting enough air under the ball and allowing his speed receivers like Parrish and Johnson to adjust to the ball. The ball's just coming out too flat and too far. There's the pressure he's been facing from this great Ohio State front four.
Second and 10. Short tip. Whoa. My goodness, Mike Doss had one hand on it. The ball is 3 inches lower at 6 points.
No question, Keith. That's why he's a 3-time All-American. Doss recognized this. Again, it's a quick 3-step drop. Watch him break. Stepping in front of Andre Johnson, and that one would have been 6 for Ohio State.
Clock running at 11:53 to play now in the 4th quarter. Niners had the ball for quite a bit at the start of this 4th quarter. A little over 3 minutes. Dorsey setting up a screen. They bust up the screen. I mean, they bust up everything. Will Allen coming like a truck. Takes on McGahee and takes him down. And the trainers are on the field in a hurry for Miami. McGahee is down.
Yeah, this is a real serious hit Will Allen put on Willis McGahee. Hit him low, and they're looking at his left leg right now. Will Allen with 2 big shots, one on Winslow and then this one. Oh my goodness. Oh Lord. That is a serious knee injury for Willis McGahee.
Yep. Timeout. We'll be back. And it's second down.
You're watching the Big Ten's greatest games.
Willis McGahee the big sophomore tailback, taken off the field with a, it seems hardly anything but serious. When you see the hit that he takes on it, you see the shoulder pad come in and hit it on the inside part of that knee, and it's gone.
Clean hit by Will Allen, but a devastating injury for Willis McGahee.
Here we have now a 54-yard field goal try by Todd Sievers. It's no good. His longest in his career had been 53 yards at Florida. That one was just a little bit out of the zone.
You know, Keith, obviously Miami needed those points to tie the game, but psychologically right now, they are really going to be challenged. That injury happened in front of their bench. Their star player is done for the evening. Now they've got to find a way to regroup mentally as much as anything to get back in the right frame of mind to win this title.
Ohio State takes over at their own 37-yard line. First down, they lead by 3 points. And we're in the fourth quarter. Krenzel gives to Claret. And the Hurricanes jump all over him after a yard or so. 11:15 to play in the football game. You got 4 wideouts. 5 wideouts now as they flex a tight end. And it's second down. And Krenzel's pass short of the first down marker to Michael Jenkins. Jenkins drops his shoulder and pounds it and gets the first down.
Only a second catch of the night, only the 4th completed pass of the night for Craig Krenzel. But finding Michael Jenkins, who has made so many big plays for the Buckeyes, especially in the fourth quarter, along with his quarterback, offensive line almost did a good job until Matt Walters drops the QB on his wallet.
Well, these two guys hooked up to win the Wisconsin game and obviously in that Purdue game. Saved that one.
Yep.
First down. Ball at the 48-yard line. Taking his time. Pressure coming. Pass away, and Wounded Goose goes down the field and falls incomplete. And it was Jonathan Vilma who leveled Craig Krenzel.
You got to wonder how many more shots Krenzel can take. Remember, he's rushed the ball 12 times tonight. He's been knocked down another half a dozen. Watch Vilma, 51. This is the type of shot.
Come up.
Keith, I think you're right. He may have a shoulder injury. It's coming over the sideline very slowly, but he is off the ground and now to the ground.
Ooh.
Tough guy.
Drew Carter is going into the ball game now. He's a wide receiver.
Play clock running way down. Real slow getting to the line of scrimmage.
Not going to make it. Yeah, I guess they did. Barely. And Claret fights for a couple of yards, getting it close to midfield. I was surprised. I thought that Krenzel was coming out that time because he really took a lick from Vilna.
He may have wanted to, you know, but the coach just sent another play in there. Didn't send a substitute for him. How about Krenzel? Very judicious with his completions tonight. 1 in each quarter. Here's that shot by Vilma, 51.
Well, the fact that he got turned a little bit by the other contact may have helped him. He'd have gone down just flat on his back. With Vilma on him, I don't know. Throwing bullet, pass caught, 40-yard line. First down to Chris Gamble. He is tough, and he's on his way someday to being a doctor.
He may need a doctor.
Yeah,
he's been sacked 31 times on the year. This time the offensive line does a good job. Still gets a couple of nudges there from Miami. But look at Gamble stepping in front of Glenn Sharp there, shielding him away from using his body to shield the defender away from the ball. Boy, 23 hits on the turf 21 times. Uncle.
This is the guy, though, that his teammates named the offensive MVP for their season. 13-0 season. Claret wiggles through. He's been close a couple of times to getting away, but they got him again with a hip pocket. And here's Todd Harris.
Well, Keith and Dan, you pointed out how tough he is and how smart he is. Check this out. He's a molecular genetics major at Ohio State. And let me just read you a question from his molecular genetics 701 final, and you guys can answer this one. How do humans having linear chromosomes avoid losing vital genetic information at the chromosomes ends during the DNA replication? You think that over. We'll give you the answer after this play.
I know it. Stay in the house.
You need pass blocking. That's how you figure that out.
Second down and 5. Oh, look. Claret gets loose again. He just kept pounding. He bounced one way, came back the other, and he's going to move the chains at the 27-yard line.
Showing extraordinary maturity for a 19-year-old true freshman. Playing high school ball at this time last year. Making guys miss, always going forward, and hitting Miami where they've been susceptible right up the middle.
And there goes McGahee to the clubhouse. Probably on his way to an x-ray machine, may even be on his way to a hospital.
Hang in there, Willis. You'll be back.
Terrific young player. On first down, go back to Claret. This is Ross, Lydell Ross. And let's talk with Lynn Swan for a moment about Willis McGahee.
Well, Keith, it's fairly obvious that he has a fairly serious knee injury. Obviously, the medical staff here on the sideline for the Miami team will take him inside as you see him there going on the cart to the locker room. They will evaluate just to what extent that knee is hurt in the locker room, and I'm certainly they'll make sure he'll get an MRI. But there were all kinds of rumors swirling about McGahee. He said he was coming back next year. All kinds of rumors swirling around about contracts being offered by shoe companies to entice him to come out. That will not happen now.
Nope. It's second down, 12. Krenzel lets it go down the middle. It's incomplete, and that's good. Barn Childress, Bam Childress was into trying to make the play over the middle, and good coverage by Miami.
Here's Michael Jenkins. He's going to clear things out and let Childress come down over the middle. But as you said, Keith, the coverage here by Kelly Jennings is really exceptional as he breaks on the ball, gets it left hand to knock it away.
They close well. They got so much speed, they'll close on you in almost any kind of play. And it's third down and 12. Claret. Krenzel takes off. He's going to take some punishment here. He gets it down to the 25-yard line. And that's going to bring up a fourth down. And here comes Mike Nugent. Nugent has made a 44-yarder tonight. Place kicker, 25 out of 27 this season. His long has been 51 against Indiana. He's had a special year in his sophomore year. This is a 42-yarder. Andy Groom holds it, and Kyle Andrews is the snapper.
Ball's kick.
Missed it. Missed it. Wide right. And Bobby Bowden just shivered. So we've got 6 minutes and 36 seconds to play in the football game, and we got another Buckeye breath holder.
2003 Fiesta Bowl, Ohio State versus Miami.
The best of all the BCS championship games so far. Down the middle, ball thrown to Kellen Winslow. He might break this big. His legs are taken away up at the 35-yard line. He picks up a first down. Chris Campbell kept him from a really big play. Jarrett Payton is in there at tailback in place of the injured Willis McGahee.
Yeah, Chrysler passing playbook. Two things to check out here. Watch Ken Dorsey first as a quarterback drop back and come off to a secondary receiver who happens to be Kellen Winslow.
This is Payton slashing over the right side and going for at least 5 yards.
And Winslow gets down across the middle. 8 catches now for 98 yards for Winslow as Miami's trying to change the tempo of this game with their no-huddle offense, trying to wear out the Buckeye defense.
6 minutes to go in the game. Ohio State leading by 3. Just missed the 42-yard field goal. Little short pass drilled again to Kellen Winslow, and that will pick up the first down to the Ohio State 49-yard line.
And right now, Ohio State has no answer for Winslow. He's running away from linebacker. He's overpowering defensive backs.
Run it again with Peyton. Not a whole lot on this one as he ran into Kenny Peterson. 20.
Guys, I have to tell you, C. Grant, number 6, and getting ready for Winslow, actually spent most of his time going against wide receivers because he wanted to get adjusted to the speed coming out of that position.
Having a hard time with it. Ball is thrown out of bounds into the crowd, incomplete. You can do that when you're outside the tackle.
Yeah, there's a 5-yard limit there from the center on out, which goes actually beyond the tackle sometimes. In college football, it's 5 yards from the center each side. If the quarterback gets outside that 5 yards, he can throw the ball anywhere.
This is resting at the 47-yard line where it is 3rd down and 8.
Dave Perry said, well, almost anywhere.
Shotgun, Dorsey. A lot of time. Finally lets it go down the middle. It's caught by Roscoe Parrish, and the ball comes out. And Ohio State pounces on it. The beanbag is down, and the Buckeyes recover it. It's Will Allen with another big play.
Donnie Nicky and Dustin Fox combined to knock this ball out of the hands of Roscoe Parrish. Fantastic throw by Dorsey. Parrish just couldn't hang on as the Buckeyes secondary converges and knocks it away. Surprising for a team that's undefeated.
It's Claret. Finds a crack. Brought down by Maurice Sykes, who was shaken up a little while ago, but that is a gain from the 18 up to the 23, 5 yards.
That looks like
and
a cramp in his calf.
Coming out.
Yeah.
2nd and 5 at the 23.
It looks like it could be a cramp, the way he's walking on it.
Yeah.
Holding it. Lydell Ross goes in to replace him, the 210-pound sophomore, and the fastest, as we told you earlier, of the group. So let's keep an eye on Claret and see what's going on here as they're looking around at the calf.
It's not serious, but it still is painful.
Oh, it hurts. Ah. It'll be 2nd down and 5 from the 23-yard line for Ohio State. They need to hang on to the ball as long as they can. Krenzel gives it to Ross. And Ross is right about the line of scrimmage as William Joseph meets him.
Time to check out our FedEx Air stats. So Miami obviously with the advantage there as Krenzel has only completed 5 of 15, but Krenzel, as we look at our FedEx ground stats, is the leading rusher for Ohio State with 63 of their 107 yards.
Now they figure to put it up on 3rd down and 4 with 4 wideouts and 3:49 and running on the clock. Pressure coming. Krenzel steps away from it. Got a chance at the 1st down. He cut back into the middle of the field. If he'd have gone to the outside, I think he makes it. Here, I'm not sure.
Well, you can't fault the effort, though, to lower his head one more time and try to pick up that 1st down. But I think you're right, Keith. I think he's a little bit shy, at least close enough to bring out the chains. Helmet to helmet hit with Maurice Sykes there, but Krenzel finding a way to fall forward and make this close.
And he's a big guy. He's 225 pounds. He's not a gimme.
He's going to be sore tomorrow.
Oh, that's all right if he wins.
And the next day,
won't feel it. Oh, he got it. One of the more amusing things about it, he is from Utica, Michigan.
Not so amusing, Keith, is that Miami has just 2 timeouts remaining. And Ohio State saw Krenzel make a similar play in their overtime win against Illinois earlier.
It is first down at the 29-yard line for the Buckeyes. 3:25 to play in the game. Buckeyes lead by 3 points. Miami shuffling the defense. Handed off to Ross. Ross skating around there, and he found a little room, picked up close to 3 yards. And a moment with Todd Harris.
Well, Keith and Dan, it doesn't sound like much, but when you have calves as powerful as Lance Armstrong's, double cramps really hurt. A lot of Flexall on those cramps. He's down here stretching him out. And as soon as he found out that Craig Krenzel got that first down, he popped up to his feet. He's coming back in.
The play resumes.
All right. Timeout. 3 minutes and 9 seconds to play in the ball game.
More of You're watching the Big Ten's greatest games.
Maurice Clarett, the single back for Ohio State. Miami coming at him hard, and they wrap his legs after a yard. It's DJ Williams in to make the play.
Brandon Joe, a fullback for the Buckeyes, a little slow getting up and now limping off the field. Ohio State is going with an unbalanced line right now, Keith. They're putting their tight end next to the guard on the weak side and bringing the other tackle over so that they have a lot more power on the right-hand side of their formation. But losing Brandon Joe is a key ingredient to the power running game for the Buckeyes.
How many times have you seen 2 fullbacks and one's named Brandon Joe and the other's named Brendan Snitka?
Never.
That's right.
Third down at 6.
Shotgun. Krenzel. Heat coming. Steps away from it. Throws it. Oh! Almost picked off by the Canes. But not quite. Went through their hands, and Chris Gamble went for the shoe top and didn't quite come up with it.
Oh, he came real close to making this catch,
Yes,
Keith.
he did.
The pressure there, that's Walter with the dive. Krenzel gets away, throws a good ball nice and low. Let's check out Gamble here working against Kelly Jennings.
Oh,
little hold there, that should have been called. Boy, that is close to a completion.
26 was in his face. I think he probably had something to do with it. Taylor. And here's the punt. Andy Groom puts some air under it, drives it back to the 25-yard line. Here comes Roscoe Parrish. Parrish getting to the sidelines, gets a block. And is finally taken down all the way down the field at the 26-yard line. Big return by Roscoe Parrish and a huge block by Gerald Weaver that kept him going.
Weaver's one of the stars of the special teams for Miami, and Tressel can't believe how things have changed so quickly. Miami is already in field goal range here, but they're thinking touchdown and another title. There's the block by Weaver, just laying out Mike Kudla. And Roscoe Parrish having a great afternoon, great evening rather. Sets up his team in great field position.
44-yard punt, but a 50-yard return, and Jared Payton is the single back. Another opportunity for Miami now. In the closing minutes, it's Payton bouncing into the middle and stopped after maybe a yard. David Thompson on the hit. Time remaining is 1 minute and 50 seconds. The clock is running. Miami with 1 timeout remaining. And yes, they play overtime in the championship game.
And it's a great overtime system where both teams will get the ball. But we'll get into that a little bit later, won't we?
Yep. Three wide outs on the left side. Dorsey directing traffic. Pressure, hit, down, 30-yard line. Simon Frazier. Sacked back at the 30.
Again, they're able to affect the timing of Ken Dorsey with the pass rush. It's not the first man that's going to get him, it's the second. Will Smith coming around the corner against Vernon Carey. That forces Dorsey up into the pocket where Simon Frazier jumps on his back. And down goes Frazier and Dorsey.
Down goes Frazier. 40 seconds to play. Miami with one timeout. Just to remind you, third down and very long. Dorsey gets it away. Underneath it goes to Jarrett Payton. And Payton struggles inside the 25 to the 23.
And that's a brilliant play by Ken Dorsey, facing an umbrella defense with everybody playing deep, preventing the big play. He dumps it off to Payton and sets up his field goal kicker from the 40-yard line.
Todd Seavers in with an effort to try and tie this game.
They came out hustling, and then Eric Winston, a true freshman, told them, hey, slow down. Take your time.
They run it down to 3 seconds, so there's no time for anything but the field goal try. Has to be this time. Has to be. From 40 yards. Chris Harvey snaps. Capshaw holds. But we're going to overtime. To the ball, just like a regular game, you can make a first down, and here's Dorsey throw.
Welcome back to the Big Ten's greatest games, 2003 Fiesta Bowl, Ohio State versus Miami.
Here we go to overtime. 17-17 tie. Back early in the ball game in the first quarter, there was this.
First time Ohio State threatened. They elected on 4th and 1 to go for a fake field goal with punter Andy Groom. He came up a half-yard short and no points.
You kind of figured this might be different because this is the first time ever two universities have had lady presidents, Dr. Donna E. Shalala from Miami and Dr. Karen A. Holbrook of Ohio State. Their teams are having at it. And this is Jarrett Payton coming to the right side and stopped again. Will Smith is on the play.
Payton obviously in the game, replacing Willis McGahee, who went out with a knee injury in that fourth quarter. Payton is a solid back, and of course his dad, NFL legend Hall of Famer Walter Payton, classmate of mine in the 1993 Hall of Fame class, and Jarrett introduced him as the first son.
We get 4 snaps of the ball, just like a regular game. You can make a first down, and here's Dorsey throwing complete to Andre Johnson, who has been very quiet in this ball game tonight. He makes that catch down around the 15-yard line.
He's been double teamed a lot of the evening, Keith. That is why Winslow has been open over the middle. But Johnson, a threat, whether he has 3 receptions at this point or 30, especially in the red zone.
He's got 4 for 54 yards now. 3rd down and 1 for the first down. They run it, and Payton is knocked out of bounds at the 8-yard line, and that's a first down for Miami. So now they've got a 1st and goal from about the 8-yard line.
Quatrine Hill, number 23, with the lead block there, as well as Eric Winston, the true freshman. I love Eric Winston's nickname, Keith. He's 6'7", 270, and his teammates have nicknamed him Neanderthal. I wonder why. Ohio State calls time.
A touchdown in your by electing to go to defense and giving up a touchdown, pretty tough. Field goal, yeah, might live with that.
Yeah, I think Ohio State realizes that Miami's putting together a pretty good couple of plays here. A lot of options for Miami to go to, especially first down now inside the 10-yard line.
But they've had to fight for their life tonight against these Ohio State Buckeyes.
It looks like Miami wants to grind things out. Both tight ends are in the game, and only one wide receiver. Of course, that one wide receiver is pretty good, Andre Johnson. And he's isolated on Fox up here.
And they give it to Payton. And he fights his way down to inside the 7 maybe before Matt Wilhelm wraps his big old arms around him. You know who's holding his breath right now? A man named Cooper, who recruited a lot of these Ohio State Buckeyes that are down there on that field.
Yeah, 18 of the 22 starters.
John Cooper.
John Cooper's fingerprints all over.
Yep. Hi, John.
There's a few other people holding their breath, too.
Well, yeah, several million. But Cooper is directly involved.
There's a multiple choice question.
Ball is at the 7, where it's 2nd down and goal. Dorsey throws to the end zone. Touchdown. Kellen Winslow making the catch. There's a penalty flag, I thought, thrown by the back judge at the back of the end zone, but he's talking to the referee now. If anything, it would probably be holding. Pass interference against Ohio State. The Winslow catch is good.
Yeah, he
for the touchdown.
Picked it right off the top of Will Allen's helmet, too. Great athletic move. The Buckeyes came with pressure. Dorsey hung tough in the pocket, and Winslow with a remarkable catch.
Severs for the point. And he makes it.
Again, if you bring pressure on Ken Dorsey, you better get to him because he's tall enough to see over the top. He's experienced enough to know where he wants to go with the ball. Wilhelm and Nicky come up the middle. They're picked up. It's a jump ball for Winslow, and Winslow's going to win every time.
And that is Miami's first lead in the ball game since they led 7-0 way back in the first quarter.
Allen had his back to Winslow the whole way. That allowed Dorsey to just put the ball up in the air and let his talented tight end take over.
Well, the boys who cast their MVP ballots early may be calling for a second go-round.
I think that might beat the confetti, those first-round ballots.
You're watching the Big Ten's greatest games.
Now the Buckeyes will go to work from the 25-yard line. They're down by 7. Krenzel back throwing, steps away from the pressure, takes off with it, going to run with it, and run it for 5 yards before DJ Williams brings him down.
Now, the one guy that Miami's got to make sure they keep an eye on is Michael Jenkins. He's the guy that Krenzel is looking for in crunch time. Miami's done a great job on him. He's only got 2 catches. But again, Krenzel only completed 5 passes all night. Dorsey taking charge on the sidelines. Great scene.
Go to the shotgun. Penalty flag stops it. No play on it.
You know,
normally that means false start.
Yeah, McDougal started, and then Hartsock came out of his stance.
False start on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty and remain 2nd down.
So they go back to the 25 with that 5-yard penalty.
Watch McDougal right here. Here's Hartsock.
Well, he's not listening to his quarterback. He's watching his enemy.
Trying to protect that inside gap.
Yep. So it's 2nd down and 10 from the 25. Blitz coming. Pressure got him. Back at the 29-yard line, it was Jamal Green.
He's the leading sacker for the Hurricanes, and he comes up with his first tonight at a best time possible for the defending champs.
First sack of the ball game for Miami.
He ran around Rob Sims. Again, another true freshman for Ohio State. How big is that penalty now?
Big. 3rd down and 14 back on the 29. Miami scored a touchdown in their first possession of overtime. Krenzel's pass is thrown short and ground. That was McDougal who forced that.
Tough to throw a screen pass against this Miami defense. Their speed of their front four really gets on the quarterback in a hurry, and then the linebacker speed, and then the secondary, they can close on Claret as they did that time.
Well, it's 4th down and 14. It's the last chance to stay alive in the overtime. If you've got something up your sleeve, this might be the time to pull it out, huh? They go with 3 wideouts. We got 2 protectors back there for Krenzel. Now one of them runs away, Claret. Krenzel steps up and goes to the sidelines, and that's good for a first down. Caught by Michael Jenkins.
Well, they've done it before. It's nothing new to Buckeye fans. Krenzel and Jenkins. 4th and 14. Are you kidding me? Great pass protection for Krenzel. Great read by the receiver, and the quarterback is Glenn Sharp, number 31, is totally turned around here.
Watch Jenkins, though, when he looks down. Where are my feet? Because he got burned a little while ago when he wasn't aware of a catch on the sidelines that he had a foot on the chalk. So it's first down for the Buckeyes, just outside the 12. Krenzel steps in the middle, throws to the end zone. No. Intended again for Jenkins, covered by Taylor.
Again, it's that matchup that Miami wants. Sean Taylor, who's normally a safety but has cornerback skills, will come over from his safety spot here, take Jenkins man for man, and prevent Krenzel from having a good angle to squeeze this one in. No place for Krenzel to throw it because 26, Taylor, had the inside.
Jenkins is not out there.
Then I would be looking for Chris Gamble over the middle.
He came off the field. Here goes Krenzel. He's at the 5-yard line, and he is hammered. He took a wicked shot to the head, and he went down hard on his back. Taylor and Vilma hit him, and he gets up.
Keith, that's 2 huge hits by Vilma. 51 right in the middle of the screen. Watch him send Krenzel backwards.
Whoa.
How does Krenzel get up from these shots? These are 2 guys drilling him. 2 big guys. Taylor, Vilma.
It's 3rd and 3 from the 5-yard line for Ohio State. 3rd and 3. They must score a touchdown to stay alive in the overtime. Krenzel sees a little hole. Now he slides out. Now he throws. And it's incomplete. Taylor knocked it away from Hartsock.
Taylor's having an unbelievable night tonight. He's got 2 interceptions, 11 tackles. He was victimized by Maurice Claret, who picked his pocket after one of his interceptions. But you can just see how smart he is as a safety, reading the quarterback and then breaking on the ball.
Miami has called this timeout. It is another 4th down for Ohio State. 4th down and 3 for a first down. 4th down and 5 for a touchdown. I thought for a moment that Krenzel had a little hole to squeeze through if he had cut left. But then I saw Vilma step into it, and so did he, and he went the other way.
What's that thing about valor?
Yeah. There's always tomorrow, next season.
Well, the good news for Ohio State is this big guy right here. It's Michael Jenkins. He looks like he's going to go back in the lineup.
We got one-on-one. Putting that bitch right on you. Okay. No thinking about it. You run a slant.
So Jenkins is going to run a slant, and Krenzel talking to his tight end Ben Hartsock. If you have man-on-man coverage, look for the ball. First look will be to Jenkins on the slant route, but Hartsock could come up big here tonight.
Well, he did once this season in one of those knuckle busters they had. He stepped up and made the catch and won the game.
Had a TV catch against Cincinnati and one against Wisconsin, but none tonight. There is Hartsock right there.
Claret's up there as a wide out too. The ball goes into the end zone, and it is incomplete. Intended for Gamble. Now there is a penalty flag thrown.
Hold on.
Hold the phone. Everybody comes running down on the field. You got to get off because there's a penalty flag thrown, and I think it's against Miami.
And if it's thrown in the end zone, the ball will be placed on the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
Glenn Sharp trying to cover Chris Gamble, and he may have arrived a tad too soon. Randy Crystal.
Pass interference.
Yep.
Glenn Sharp, 31 on Chris Gamble, number 7. Oh, that's a tough call there. With about this angle. Bad call. Bad call.
The left hand. I don't know if the left arm was there too soon or not.
I think the ball got there before Glenn Sharp did.
Well, he waved it incomplete and then threw the flag.
Boy, Gamble had a chance to make the catch before contact was made by Sharp. The only thing is they may have called the contact that was earlier, but the ball had not been released by the quarterback. This is a bad call for the Miami Hurricanes.
Now, there could have been holding there.
They called pass interference, Keith.
Yeah, I did.
And this man right here says incomplete.
So it is 1st and goal for Ohio State. They'll try to run it, and they're having a little problem with that early on. They get back to the line of scrimmage. Claret carrying it. Here's Lynn Swann.
Well, Keith, when Miami thought they had won, Sean Taylor, number 26, the safety, had thrown his helmet up in the air, and all the pieces came apart. He missed that last play because he was on the sideline trying to find the pieces, get it put back together. They got it put back together. Now he's back on the field.
You wouldn't want to be out there trying to defend here without him in the mix.
With all your padding in your helmet, too.
Boy, you need him. Pounded in the middle. It's short.
Well, you'd like to see Claret get airborne down there. Try to go up over the top. Decided to go low and came up short.
Jim Tressel's 49 years old and just really his 2nd year at Ohio State. I don't know how many seasons like this you can go through, Jim. The legions will be diminished. Trenzo sneaking touchdown. So a kick will tie it, and we'll go around again.
And Keith at center was a true freshman, Nick Mangold, who led the way along with Bryce Bishop and Shane Olivier over that right side. Good patience by Krenzel to find a crack and get in for the score.
Nugent for the point. Don't need to tell you anything about this. Just watch it. Down the middle.
Heads up play. Keith, Sean Taylor rushed the center, faked like he was coming, and that caused a false start by Ohio State.
And that'll back him up 5.
Prior to the snap, false start on the offense. It'll be a 5-yard penalty. Repeat the try.
What a heads-up play by Sean Taylor. What a player he is as a safety. 26 right here. Watch him shake up the center. That's Kyle Andrews as a snapper, number 60, and he gets the left guard to jump.
So they'll try it again. Nugent has missed 1 extra point this season from the 15-yard line. On its way, good. Phew. 77,502 in the attendance, and ain't nobody going home.
You having fun yet, big boy?
We're it up. We continue. It is now 24-24, and we got another overtime coming up. the 11. Krenzel wants to pass. Now does and has it complete.
They desire greatness, demand respect, define success, and let true passion shine through.
She is going to nail that every time. That's beautiful basketball right there. Wow! That was just phenomenal.
This is Big Ten Women's Basketball in HD, only on the Big Ten Network.
The one show that covers everything Big Ten. Big Ten Tonight. Get news from people dialed into the conference all week long.
And this is an offense that's going to be able to score points.
Exclusive interviews.
We didn't want to tie it up and go to overtime. We wanted to win the ball game, and that's what we did.
And expert analysis of the games and matchups that matter to you.
2003 Fiesta Bowl, Ohio State versus Miami.
24-24, second overtime. And this is Lydell Ross going to the sidelines, and the Hurricanes run him out of bounds, but it's a pretty good pickup on first down, like about 9 yards.
Ross showing off his outstanding speed. Paid for it, too, as a tough tackle there by DJ Williams. But Ross picking up 9 yards.
2nd and 1 at the 16.
He's coming out now. Kind of holding the right shoulder, looks like. Hamby, freshman tight end, goes in for Ohio State. Single back is Claret. Krenzel gives it to him. He's looking for some daylight, and I tell you, there's some quick Miami people that got there that time. That was Roger McIntosh. Just locked his legs.
We both saw the same thing, Keith. A hole on that left side. Claret saw it too. He can't believe how quickly McIntosh closed. Starting here and then coming back. Watch McIntosh, number 50. Just keep Claret at the line of scrimmage.
It's 3rd down and 1. Claret's carried 22 times tonight for 42 yards. Ooh. Not quite 2 yards per carry. Well, let's see here if he can get it this time. No, Krenzel will do it himself, and he just jumps right on the hip pocket of the center, and Bryce Bishop, and he rides along with him and has the first down at the 11-yard line.
Alex Stepanovich back in at center for Krenzel, who has now rushed 19 times for 80 yards.
Well, you know, Stepanovich is he's a wide body. He's 6'4", 310 pounds, from Berea, Ohio. He's a junior. They're all juniors all the way across that offensive front for the Buckeyes. So they're coming back. First down at the 11. Krenzel wants to pass. Now does and has it completed. Down to the 5-yard line to Michael Jenkins. Maurice Sykes defending.
Buckeye offensive line, all those juniors you're talking about, Keith, are doing a pretty good job now of keeping Krenzel upright. He's got time to find Jenkins on the crossing route, and then a sure tackle by Maurice Sykes keeps Jenkins from getting in the end zone.
Taylor was there, but he looks a little tender, doesn't he? With that ankle.
Half step slow.
Yep. Second down from the 5. Claret. Touchdown.
Well, Maurice Sykes couldn't do it 2 plays in a row. He had Claret right at the line of scrimmage and could not make the tackle as Claret sidestepped him and accelerated through a huge hole and into the end zone.
Here's your extra point try now for Mike Nugent. Whoa, that snap was low and hard, but the kick is good. Handled well by Andy Groom.
Check out the touchdown by Maurice Clarett. Sometimes you got to make the first guy miss. Well, the first guy is going to be number 36, Maurice Sykes. Fine job by Clark. There's the broken tackle. There's the touchdown for Ohio State. The down block is excellent by Ryan Hamby. And then Clarett staying low, keeping those legs, driving, getting the 6 points.
And he's carrying about 227 pounds, 28 pounds when he goes in there slamming away. So he is a tough trip.
Dorsey's going to have
more of the Big Ten's greatest games. We're watching the Big Ten's greatest games.
It is now first down for Miami as Ohio State leads 31-24. And it goes to Jarrett Payton. And Payton has trouble getting back to the line of scrimmage and does not. Remember, the Hurricanes are without Willis McGahee. He suffered an injured knee.
And Keith, Miami, curiously, had two tight ends in the game there. Thought that they could maybe pound the ball a little bit. Now they take out Eric Winston and bring in Roscoe Parrish.
Second down and 11. Ohio State has the lead in this second overtime by 7. Dorsey's pass incomplete. He was pressured. He was trying to get the ball to Kellen Winslow.
And Dorsey may be hurt, Keith.
He took a hard hit, and he's having a little trouble getting to his feet, but he's trying, and he can't do it. He can't do it. That brings on Derek Crudup. He's the backup quarterback.
Middle linebacker Matt Wilhelm. That's a quarterback's worst nightmare. You take the shot from the player himself, and then he drives you all the way to the ground under 245 pounds. That could be any number of things, from a collarbone to a rib injury to a shoulder. So not only is McGahee out of the game, now Dorsey's going to have to go out on this third down and 10.
He looks like he was just had his bell rung. Maybe had the wind knocked out of him. He's got to go out of the ball game, though, whether he's injured or not. And he is totally deflated, if nothing else.
Yeah, the big thing will be, can he raise that right arm and can he throw the ball? Bigger thing is Derek Crudup now will come into the ball game with very little experience.
Sophomore from Deerfield Beach, Florida. Played some last year in the backup role, but he's never been in a bigger moment than he's entering right now. But the key is, what about Dorsey? If Crudup can do something on third down and 10 to get him a first down. There's only 2 plays left for Miami unless they get a first down. And Crudup back and throws the ball is caught by Hill, the fullback. And Quadrin Hill moves it down for a good 8 yards before he was belted out. Maybe 7 yards.
That's a remarkable play. Hill has not touched the ball yet tonight. Crudup comes in, 5-step drop, fires the ball out there. Great play by Crudup and Quadrin Hill, as Ohio State now is going to call time. Or rather, Miami's going to call time, yeah.
And it's Dorsey walking around over there. He's got his wind back. And apparently he's convinced he's all right to play, and he's talking to the coaches, talking to the doctors. And apparently the medical folks have said, okay, go ahead.
Boy, what a job by Derek Crudup to come in the game totally cold and find a receiver out of the backfield, and Quadrin Hill making the catch. Now comes down to one play. You're going to have your horse back in there at quarterback. And a lot of weapons for Ken Dorsey to look at. Primarily, Kellen Winslow over the middle has been very big for Miami all night long. Winslow with 10 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown.
Well, they're looking at 4th down and 3. And apparently Dorsey is going to come back in, which to me seems a considered risk, because how do you know? Dorsey is such a gamer, such a competitor. You'd have to drag him kicking and screaming out of there, but you've got to make sure he's sound. Here he comes. They need 3 yards.
And Ohio State, taking a look at what Miami presented as far as personnel is concerned, they decide to call a timeout and make further adjustments. And that helps Dorsey.
Yeah, it gets his head clearer and clearer.
Yep. Still would like to see him toss the ball a little bit, but obviously there's nothing wrong with his arm.
34-game win streak on the line. Dorsey's career 38-1 coming into this ball game. Larry Coker succeeded Butch Davis at Miami last year. He's never lost as a head coach. Doesn't know how to make a loser speech. And he, I don't think, is terribly interested in learning. We're in overtime, the second overtime. Ohio State scored. Claret banged it in from 5. 31-24 the score. Miami has 4th down and 3 to get a first down and stay alive. It's not really a question of scoring right now. What you want is 3 yards.
3 measly yards, and they're going to come with 3 receivers to the wide side of the field as Winslow is at the tight end spot right here.
I would say he would be the man. Dorsey's pass, good. They've got the first down. Down at the 10-yard line, it was Winslow, and there's a penalty flag. Hold the phone.
Late flag after the play, Keith. Winslow was down.
On the play, a gain of 7.
Face mask, 5-yard penalty. Gain was sufficient for a first
That puts
down.
him on the 5-yard line.
I think Dustin Fox is the guilty player for Ohio State. But Winslow so quick out of the break, gets his head around, ball is thrown perfectly right to the numbers, and watch Fox come up. And just that right there, boy, that looks like more than just a 5-yard penalty.
They put the ball down on the 6. It's right on the 6. And it's 1st and goal for Miami. Dorsey throwing. End zone, no. Penalty flag. A little bit late coming.
Hey, he was digging in that back pocket. Couldn't get it out the first time, but Chris Gamble has the pass interference on Andre Johnson.
Yeah, but Chris Gamble benefited by that same flag from the same official down the other end of the field in the other overtime.
Didn't he ever? He's just going to reach out and grab Johnson. Look at the power of Johnson to swim to the inside. Gamble was trying to take the inside away by his alignment. And Johnson just too powerful.
Now they put the ball at the 2-yard line.
Johnson has only 1 catch in the second half and in these overtimes.
First and goal from the 2. It's Peyton to the 1. Walter's son, Jarrett, 6'2", 218, junior, Harlington Heights, Illinois. There have been 187 plays on the field between the two teams tonight. And Gamble, or Ohio State, has 118 plays. He has been involved in 118 plays tonight. Wow. Dorsey throwing, tight end, missed him. Had him. Eric Winston, the freshman tight end, had gone in there, and the double tight end alignment broken clean and clear, and Dorsey missed him.
There may be something wrong with Ken Dorsey's arm, because after he threw it, he just let it hang by his side. You don't miss a guy this wide open by this much if you're Ken Dorsey. Check out his reaction after the throw. Sure, he's disappointed that he missed his tight end, but I think that shoulder's giving him problems.
3rd and goal from the 1. Hand it off to the fullback, Hill. And Matt Wilhelm stops him.
Trying a little quick hitter there, not giving the ball to your tailback, trying to give it to Quadrine Hill, his first rush of the night, behind the tight end coming in motion, Winston, and Ohio State, again, that front four, along with Wilhelm, just stuffed them.
Well, the ball is actually a little short of the 1-yard line now. It is 4th down, the final play, unless they can stick it in the end zone. Andre Johnson, Roscoe Parrish, and Kellen Winslow, and Dorsey under pressure, throws it, incomplete. The Buckeyes win. C. Grant was the man who pressured Dorsey, and now the party begins for the Ohio State Buckeyes. They are 14-0. And they are the national champions of college football.
And they did it their way, Keith, with defense. Right down to the very last play. Brilliant call by Mark D'Antonio, bringing the corner blitz, rather the linebacker off the corner, and C. Grant forcing Dorsey to put up a prayer.
Thanks for watching the Big Ten's Greatest Games. Be sure to check your local listings for future episodes.
Play action, Clark again. He sets up again. He waits. He throws downfield. Wide open is Butler. Touchdown.